A blind knight that uses echolocation, viewing the dark, treacherous world through sound. Trapped in a dungeon keep, endangered by combatants, where hazards lurk around every corner. Make sound to have vision, or don't and be stealthy. Avoid impaling threats throughout the dungeon to escape. Engage with other prisoners.
Rogue Knight I've been hearing about. Could you find the key and unlock my cell?
Free them to fight back with more allies.
Let's take this guy.
The dungeon labyrinth has many paths and even more traps. Struggle through the darkness to find your freedom.
When Alex became a god, he thought he would have no problems at all. Until... he landed in the divine dimension and was tasked with protecting the entire multiverse.
Am I connected to every single Alex Ambrose that ever existed?
Alex could travel across dimensions, defying the laws of time and space, to help other Alexes throughout the multiverse. But then everything changed.
No! Aw!
I have to go back and save them.
But if Alex went back to the mortal world, he would relinquish all of his power and his memories.
I don't have a choice. I must go back.
When Alex returned back to Earth, he goes back to being your average business tycoon millionaire, unaware that the people he cared most about are in danger.
Someone help me!
Yvonne, what happened?
I was attacked by a monster. Alex? What's going on? Get away from him! He is my boyfriend!
Who attacked Yvonne in the forest? What will Debbie do next? Who will Alex choose between the two women? Will Alex ever remember who he was before traveling into a different multiverse? To hear what happens next and whether Alex can stop the deranged monster before he strikes again, listen to the original audio drama, Insta Millionaire Returns, only on Pocket FM. Download the app now and find out.
Presentation.
School is open and so are the gates to the Rock. It recently saw some truck racing action in real life, and we're happy to have it back here with the Venom Truck Series for the 5th time in series history. And not only that, it is the season finale for the regular season here tonight. It is the Bible School at the Rock presented by Baby Billy's Bible Bonkers. And these drivers are looking to go bonkers here tonight, and they'll have plenty of time to do that because it's the endurance race. 250 laps. Big time. Gonna be a long one here tonight, so settle in, folks, with your beverage and food of choice. Welcome into Turns Red's coverage of the Venom Truck Series. It's Tommy Cook and Matt Williamson. As always, partner, welcome back to the Rock. It always is good for a banger.
Oh, it certainly is, and there might be quite a bit of banging going on here tonight. And they, like you said, they have multiple laps to be able to do it. So these drivers need to settle in just like the fans out there are going to need to settle in as well. It is going to take patience. It is going to take discipline here tonight to be able to get this one done.
Let's take a look at the points. They've been tight all season. This is about as spread out as they've been, though, and perfect timing for a few of these drivers.
Yeah, we'll take a look, and you'll notice that there's quite a few more names in green. That means that they are already locked into the playoffs here. Matt Schlosser is atop the points still, albeit Chad Stearns is a bit closer here. But as long as Matt has a decent finish here tonight, he should wrap up the season championship there. John Kay sits in third in the points. Hayden Palumbo, Luke Peterson, very close together, but both of them locked in here. And this is where we're going to get interesting. Zach Lockett, Josh Monacek, still in a pretty good spot here. They're feeling pretty decent. Andy Poliski, not as good, but still in a good spot. Josh Freed, Brody Gunter, those are the two that we're really keeping our eyes on. However, 20 points is quite a bit here. There is a little wrinkle in tonight's race. We'll get to that here in a moment. Brantley Gainey is the next up, right behind Brody Gunter, to try and work his way into the playoffs here tonight. He's gonna have to be very disciplined here tonight to be able to get it done, but he's gonna try his darndest. Tyler Logan, Jeremy McKinnon, Kyle Zittel, and Jan Van der Leer are outside of the cut line with quite a few points to make up. It would be difficult for one of them to get in, but it's not impossible.
Unofficially, this is where we have the clinch scenarios at. Zach Lockett with a 23rd place or better finish would make it through with no worries. Joshua Matacek, P19 is what he'll be looking for tonight. Andy Poliski's going to need a good run, and he can do it here, but he needs a 6th or better. And everyone else is going to have to fend for themselves. And if these drivers don't execute on those finishes, they'll have to fend for themselves as well. Quickly, let's take a look at the track facts since we have a short pace lap here. And we could do our regular track conditions and all that stuff later. But what has Rockingham provided for the Venom Truck Series in the past?
Yeah, so we average 5 cautions per race here. But Season 8, the last time we were here, there were 13 cautions. So we are certainly hoping to not have that many here tonight. But we have a lot of laps to be able to get it done, so it wouldn't be a terrible surprise, I would say. Tonight's race is 100 laps longer than the previous longest race in series history here. That is a long, long ways. That is 100 miles longer. 4 previous winners here. Brendan Turner won in Season 1. Wes Knipp won in Season 2. Those are 2 names that I don't think you or I have ever broadcasted for here. Nathan Reynolds, he is a mainstay. He won in Season 5. And John Kay won last season. And this is also where Andy Poliski won his championship in Season number 5.
So Andy will be looking for a big night here at the Rock to make sure that he is a part of the chase field here in Season 9. And how about a driver who had a big night last week at Talladega? He follows it up by grabbing his pole here tonight. Yes, I said it, at Rockingham. John Kay, first pole of the season, 7th of his Venom Truck Series career. He leads the field to green. With Brody Gunter starting on the outside pole. Hayden Palumbo and Chad Stearns on row number 2. How about Gary Clark? Awesome qualifying run in P5 for driver number 8. And Matt Schlosser coming off his 2nd worst finish of the season, starting in P6. Tyler Logan and Steve Vroman on row number 4. Josh Jackson, Zach Lockett needing a good night here tonight. He'll start in the 10th position. Josh Freed, Rodney Matney on row number 6. It's Jan Van Leer and Luke Peterson on row 7. It is Brantley Gainey and Kyle Zittel, 2 drivers that need something to happen to the front runners here today. They start on row number 8. Austin Holyfield and Joshua Matacek, teammates there on row number 9. Rounding out the top 20, it is Garrett Rainey in 19th and Andy Poliski way back there in P20. Brian Mitchell and Eric Breeding on row number 11. It is the Sargents, Paul leading Kevin in row number 12. Jeremy McKinnon, Cole Maxwell, and last week's 3rd place finisher, Tyler Bergert, back there in the 27th and final position. Magic 27 here as the drivers begin to roll. Matt, what are the weather conditions and what is the strategy here at Autodromo Dwayne Johnson?
Yeah, so the weather right now is it's 72 degrees is the ambient temperature, 95 degrees is the track temperature. It's not real warm, but it's not all that cool either. These drivers might have a tough time with that temperature. We'll see how it changes here throughout the session. This track just under a mile in length, and we have 2 excuse me, Jesus. 2 pit stage breaks. Stage breaks is what I'm looking for. That means 2 sets of points are going to be paid out here tonight for stage break. Well, I shouldn't say break. For stage points. That's going to come into play big time here when we get to the playoff picture with those drivers that are on the cut line. So a couple of opportunities to kind of work your way forward, give yourself a chance to get into the playoffs here.
John Kay, Brody Gunter on the front row. Teammates headed into turn number 1 with 25 other drivers behind him. We are slowing up here big time, and the caution is out. We had a dust up here at the back of the field before we even made it to the start-finish line. Kevin Sargent, Cole Maxwell parked in the middle of the track. Other drivers with penalties for passing drivers, avoiding the melee, and that is a messy start to what is a long race.
Yeah, and we just had this happen recently. It may have been in a Max V race that I was broadcasting for. This is going to mess up the order a little bit. We'll have to do some work to get things in order here.
Yeah, and it happened in Max V on Thursday night as well. Anytime that the whole field does not pass the start-finish line before the caution comes out on the opening lap, it really screws things up. But I think we'll have things buttoned up by the time we figure out what actually happened here.
Yeah, let's go ahead and take a look. This is obviously coming to the race start. Oh, there's a checkup well in front of those drivers that were actually involved. And it looks like maybe Garrett Rainey either gets hit from behind or... No, that
he
just...
shifted down.
I think he did. I think he downshifted, got the tires super... Got it super loose and then just shot straight up the racetrack into Andy. Wait, Andy was kind of okay, but then Eric, Kevin, and Cole, they got wrapped up in it. We'll back it up and go on board with Garrett. I was going to say, that was so quick. It was almost like a disconnect, but, he straightened the wheel out, so I doubt it was. That was not... He didn't shift there.
That is so strange.
He just pressed the throttle down and it went straight right on him. That is so weird.
This is normally not one of those tracks that produces that.
Wow, that is surprising. So a few drivers with some damage. Kevin Sargent on that right front, he has quite a bit. Cole is looking a little better than Kevin is. Garrett's gonna have quite a bit on the right front there. And then Andy got hit in the side, and I don't really see any body damage to the 32, so I think he's okay.
Yeah, that's risky business where Andy got hit. He got hit right on the left front tire. The right front tire is going to take some abuse here tonight off the wall. I would imagine we'll see a lot of wheel damage as this race goes along. But, I can't profess to know how getting left front wheel damage would react. Hopefully Andy doesn't have to find out. This is not a great start to his night. I would imagine he's still above the cut line right now, but a lot closer than he wants to be as we're back green. Into turn number 1 this time. John Kay with the hole shot. Palumbo underneath Gunter. Sporting a new wrap on the 01 machine. Gunter around the outside will hang on to second.
Somebody hit the wall on exit there, and it may have been Clark. I think it was. Gary just hit the wall on the exit of 2 there. And you see Zach Lockett way up the racetrack here as well.
I love Rockingham turns 3 and 4. You can use any line just about at any point during the race, and it was on full display there.
Chad Stearns is absolutely sticking it to the yellow line on the bottom of the racetrack. Don't know if that's... Oh, no! Somebody gets turned! That's Josh Freed!
This could have some playoff implications here as that motor is expired.
Oh, no.
Man, after missing Talladega last week, they made contact there with Jan Van Leer on that one, and Freed's night might be over. Hopefully not. This is certainly going to throw a wrench in things.
Yeah, I mean, Freed, like you mentioned, missed last week, but was still in coming into tonight. But with the smoke pouring out of the engine, I have a feeling this might be game over here for Josh.
Wow.
That happened very fast.
Yeah, he is showing a meatball flag, of course, but iRacing not one to repair the engines anymore in the NASCAR trucks, so it's more than likely will be terminal.
Well, let's take a look at the replay. Freed's on the top side through turns 1 and 2. It's Kyle Zittel in the 53 below, Jan Van Leer in the 5. Oh, and Kyle just comes up in front. I mean, it wasn't that close, and then I don't know if Freed was going to try and make a move to the bottom. I mean, it seems like he's kind of coming down. Jan's coming up the racetrack at the same time a little bit.
It kind of lost the air on the front of that truck as well when Zittel did move up.
We'll back it up and go on board with the 39 as well here. He's through turns 1 and 2. Let's watch Kyle come up the racetrack. Plenty of room. Oh, man. And, I mean, you kind of get a little bit... I mean, you get pretty loose off the corner. Like, you get tight when you're trying to come to the exit, but once you're actually going straight, you're a little bit loose usually, and I'm thinking that Josh was just a little free. Not to have any puns intended there, but I think he was just a little free, and he was kind of chasing it down the racetrack a little bit.
Well, we'll say this much. Freed is going to be rooting for some problems for Brantley Gainey and Tyler Logan, just to be sure. But if that does not happen, and if Freed makes the chase, it'll be by the absolute skin of his teeth. His race is over after just 7 laps here. We're coming to lap 10 on this second restart of the event already. Long way to go. These drivers looking to settle in. John Kay had settled into a comfortable lead up front. Now he'll have to restart again with Brody Gunter to his outside. Palumbo and Schlosser on row 2. Stearns and Roman on row 3. Lap 10 on the board. Gunter does not get going there on the outside. Palumbo looking to take advantage here on the bottom. Gunter looking to slingshot around the high side, and he will. Top 5 single file Lockett trying to advance on Steve Roman, and he will do just that. Lockett up to 6th.
Lots of double file through the field here right now. Your top few are single file at the moment. That's Rodney Matney in the 83. He's looking to move forward, and he's got Luke Peterson trying to push him down the backstretch here.
Clark got into the wall there.
Clark up into the wall.
Hit it a lot harder that time.
Yeah, it looked like Jackson may have been up into the wall there as well.
Good to see Josh Jackson back after he missed Talladega last week. Look at Tyler Berger sporting the Caterpillar colors here. The home team for UNI, and Bergert's on the move, trying to get up into the top 10.
And Clark up into the wall again off of 2. Man, a great qualifying effort, but he's struggling a little bit now. Just needs to have a chance to settle in. I mean, when you're too wide in the middle of the pack, you just don't have a chance to catch your breath. He's finally getting one here. Hopefully he can buckle down and kind of get a rhythm going here.
Brady Gunter just had a run. He didn't take it.
Another one hit the wall, and that was Brantley Gainey. So that is a driver trying to work their way into the playoffs and is in a good spot with the damage to Freed. But now he's hit the wall.
Gunter for the lead. Slides up and takes it. He had been working on John Kay the last couple of turns there. And Gunter, after making some contact with the wall at turn number 2, sees himself to the front of the field. Kay now back to second. This track is not very kind on tires. I'm wondering if John Kay is just saying, okay, go ahead.
Did they only get one extra set of tires here tonight? I mean,
that would be correct. Yep.
That's a lot of extra laps to only get one additional set.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this is a track. This is an old track surface. Tires are going to be a premium. So, I mean, Gunter's out front with clean air now. Maybe he felt like he needed to get out into the clean air early to help his tires, but he had to use them up a little bit to get there.
Well, if there's anybody I trust to lead and save tires, push hard, it would probably be Brody Gunter.
Yeah, you're absolutely correct.
Battling for 7th, Tyler Logan looking underneath of Steve Roman. And Peterson now, as Logan can't get it done, he'll take a look to the inside of the 98 here, right up to the door.
We had Peterson on our car and side cameras earlier. He has dropped off of them now. So maybe they were affecting the performance a little bit. Needed to drop out, but Luke always trying to give us a nice view, so appreciate that from the 38. He is still working with Logan and Vroman here, trying to get himself into 7th. Ooh, up the racetrack a little bit. Yeah.
A little close.
He'll take the spot, though.
Boy, it's been the season from hell for Steve Roman. I'm sure he would love to just finish this race tonight.
I mean, strategy-wise, this seems like a Steve Roman kind of race, so we'll see if that plays in his favor or not.
Here's the decent one, Kyle Zittel. He needs some more people to start having some misfortunes in front of him in the running order. For the points, that is. If he were to have a crack at making the chase, he's got stacked up behind him right now. Joshua Matichek and Rodney Matney also in that mix with Logan Zittel and Vroman. Not missing anything up front. Brody Gunter leading by about 0.6 of a second over John Kay. Palumbo and Schlosser not too far behind in 3rd and 4th. And Chad Stearns right now running in P5 as Matichek makes the move on Tyler Logan. Zittel continues to look underneath of Roman here for spot number 8.
Further behind this group, Berger has worked his way up a lot of positions. He is up 12 spots already. But here is Zittel and Vroman still battling it out. Whew, man. Zittel just about got a tag from behind, and he's going to get a push from behind there from Matichek.
Oh. A little bottled up out of turn number 2. And onto the back straightaway. Vroman nearly tail whipped Kyle Zittel there. As Matichek pushing up into the mix here.
Yeah, he's kind of in a tough spot. Yeah, he's in a tough spot because Steve and Kyle are running different lines. He just really doesn't have anywhere to go. Now he'll get to the outside of Kyle Zittel, and he'll hope that Vroman sticks to the bottom. No, Vroman's going to have the top here.
Matichek just looking to get clear on the 53. Maybe he could try and move down.
And he does. We'll see what he's able to do here in turns 1 and 2. He'll run the bottom. Vroman's going to get a nice drive off, though. Behind him, Tyler Logan.
Folks that are hanging out with us here tonight, Stickers McQueen. Rodney Matney's in frame here, just behind Tyler Logan. The Maticheks, as always, shout out to you. Shout out to Ty Coleman, cheering on Austin Holyfield, and Mike Milfeld, hanging out with us here tonight as well.
Holyfield's just inside the top 20 right now, and he has a gaggle around him as Jackson flew right up in front of Bergert there. Something happened to Tyler Bergert. I don't know if he's used his tires up a little bit too early or what, but he was up 12 spots, and he's dropped quite a few now.
Well, that's the thing. When you showed him in P15, he was actually in 12th a few laps before that. So you caught him on the way back. So you're right. Something going on here with Tyler Berger.
Whoa,
That was Brian Mitchell.
Pretty hard into the wall there.
Some separation at the front of this field. Brody Gunster with his biggest lead of the race. It's just about to a second. John Kay trying to shake Hayden Palumbo. He's got him half a second behind. Palumbo nearly a second clear of Schlosser. And a half a second back to Chad Stearns in P5. Zittel, Logan, and Matney still nose to tail here for 10th through 12th. Jan Van Leer is creeping up into this mix in P13. It has been a rough, probably a month and a half for Jan Van Leer. I'm sure he's in the same boat as Steve Roman. If he's not going to make the chase, which it looks unlikely, but it's not impossible, he is just hoping to have a strong finish to the regular season. Stearns getting closer to Schlosser for P4, and the former teammates from last season might start to go to battle here.
Let's go on board with Chad Stearns as he works here. And I mean, there through turns 1 and 2, you can see just how much the truck is bouncing in the corners. And again, through turns 3 and 4.
You really do feel it in 3 and 4 in the wheel. And you can hear it with the splitter bottoming out as well. It goes thump, 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 thump.
Oh, Stearns is going to take a dive.
He's going for it.
He'll take it.
Easy peasy.
I think that was a veteran move there for Matt Schlosser to not give up too much of a fight when you know you're going to have to take care of your tires here tonight.
And even if Chad Stearns were to win this race and win both stages and lead the most laps, where Schlosser is running right now, that would not be enough of an advantage for the 05. To take the regular season championship. It's really going to take a finish like Schlosser had last week at Talladega to bring Chad Stearns back into the mix.
Back to Lockett and Peterson battling for 6th, just behind those two. Excuse me, this is Peterson and Vroman.
Yes, Steve, on the way back forward here.
Yeah, this is one of those races that you'll see some drivers drop back or move forward quickly, and then they may end up doing the opposite just 10 to 15 laps later. If anybody's wondering about strategy thus far, it's easy math for us here tonight. If you want to use all of your sets of tires and not save any for a green-white checkered finish, you can just break this race into 50-lap stints. You have 5 total sets of tires. You get 4 extras. And you can just go 50 times 5, and you'll get to the 250 mark. So some drivers may opt for that. I would assume a lot of the drivers are looking more at maybe using up 4 sets of tires for their regularly scheduled programming. That would put them right around 62 laps as Vroman's into the wall a bit there out of 4. So there's a couple of different options for the drivers here tonight there.
And certainly you've hit the nail on the head in that tires are dictating this, not fuel. The fuel window can stretch into the 70s, the mid-70s, maybe the high 70s, but with a high degradation, very old weathered track surface, and even with the aid of some early caution laps, fuel is not the concern here tonight. It is tires.
We got plenty of racing here tonight. We're going to give plenty of onboard shots for you here. This is Rodney Matney, and he is right behind this Logan Zittel battle that we've been following here throughout the early stages of this one.
One guy we need to point out here, with the problems from Josh Freed earlier, is Brantley Gainey. Brantley Gainey finished second here last season. It was an awesome run to the checkers and nearly won it if it weren't for that dastard of John Kay. Gainey 20 points below the cut line coming into tonight. Josh Freed wrecking out from this race immediately. Gainey's the one that needs to capitalize, but right now he just made a pass for 23rd. It has not been the race that Gainey needs thus far, but is he strategizing?
He could be strategizing, but we did see him hit the wall pretty, decently hard earlier as well. So hopefully he doesn't have too much damage there to the 22. Otherwise, he might have a hard time moving forward.
And I will say as well, if there is a textbook Brantley Gainey race, it is this. Start in the middle, drop back, push your way through by the time pit stops come around, and crack the top 10 by the end of the race. That's a Brantley Gainey race. A couple of miscues around the three-quarter mark of the season and put him below the cut line. He was above it for most of this season. I would not be shocked at all to see him start making his way forward here, even maybe with a little bit of damage to that 22 truck. Still battling hard here, just around the top 10. To answer Mike Milfeld's question in the chat, I'm showing about 1.4 seconds of fall off after only 43 laps. And that's from Brody Gunter. I would imagine there are some bigger numbers through the field. But do you feel good about maybe a second and a quarter, maybe a little bit more at this point?
I mean, honestly, that's not that bad compared to what it could be. But at a shorter track like this, it is quite a bit. So, I think there's a lot of these drivers that can probably make it to that 62 lap mark and have a set of tires left should something happen at the end of the race. But I think there's going to be quite a few that will go for using all of the tires up on their regular strategy as well. It'll be really interesting to see. Oh, caution is out.
Brian Mitchell down the back straightaway is around, and he's
Kevin
taking
Sargent.
somebody with him, Kevin Sargent.
Yeah, Kevin
I'm not too
Sargent
sure.
was involved.
Brantley Gainey was, I think, maybe involved in this one as well. That is not good news for the 22 truck. I was just about to say we had a couple of passes on track for position. Zach Lockett and Steve Roman will be happy they just snagged up a couple spots because I would imagine everybody's coming down pit road here.
Yeah, I mean, this may just dictate everybody's strategy. Strategy might go straight out the window after this one. So, I mean, we also have to remember this is if things stay green. I mean, last season we had 13 cautions here, but the average is only 5, and that's in a shorter race. So, depending on how many cautions we get, when they come out, it could greatly, greatly vary the strategy.
And that truck that's staying out is Brian Mitchell. I would imagine he'll want the wave around after being involved in this one, but everybody else is coming down.
Yeah, for sure. While that's happening, let's go ahead and take a look at the replay here if we can. See Brian Mitchell, he is underneath of Eric Breeding here. This is through turns 1 and 2. Oh, and he goes straight up the racetrack. I think he may have gotten loose and maybe overcorrected straight up into Breeding. Kevin Sargent was piling in there as a result, and Brantley Gainey definitely made some significant contact with the 09 here.
Kevin Sargent's race is over. He is disconnected.
He's been involved in a couple, so he's got some compounding damage here from a couple of incidents. Let's back it up to the front stretch here for Mitchell, and let's see what happens with the wheel inputs here because he shot straight up the racetrack out of 2. Oh, he touches the apron here. Oh, and he just gets tight. He touches the apron through turn 2, and he's got the wheel cranked to the left, but he just gets tight, and he is not able to make the corner. He would have pounded the wall had Breeding not been there.
And there's Kevin in the chat. Certainly a frustrating race for the 09. Brody Gunter slid through his box, so he is dropped back to 4th. Race off pit road is won by John Kay. Chad Sturds came out 2nd. Zach Lockett came out 3rd after he made a pass on Hayden Palumbo right as the caution was coming out. This was the race, from my money, that put Lockett on the map last season. And he has really taken off from there. We'll see what he can do here from the inside of road 2. We'll see what John Kay does now that he's back in control of the field with the fresh tires. Inside line checking up a bit behind Steve Roman. We're back underway. Good getaway for John Kay. Stearns outright 2nd, battling for 3rd. Gunter just a Scotia wall there out of 2. And now it is Schlosser to the outside of Lockett. And Gunter on the prowl looking to take 2nd back. Joshua Matichek into the top 10 to the inside of Steve Roman, looking for P7. Hayden Palumbo all the way back to 10th. It was not a good pit cycle for the 54.
Oh, somebody gets turned. I think it was Breeding.
It's Eric Breeding, and
no,
hard shot into the
Brantley
wall.
Gainey.
That's Brantley Gainey.
Wow,
And
that is 2 drivers right at the cut line taken out of this one.
Yeah, that is
Oh, dear.
so strange for Brantley Gainey. Must have been feeling the effects from the last incident there, because he walked that all the way to the inside wall. But that is going to be race over for driver 22, and also for Eric Breeding, your all-star race winner. So it is the lady in black, I think, has moved over to Rockingham. The Rock is reaching out and grabbing these drivers and giving them the people's elbow here early.
Well, it would be if the Rock ever decided to show up to an event, but
Wow, okay. Don't be too salty about that.
Let's take a look here. Breeding. Oh, looks like he may get a little loose. Yeah, he's loose. He actually loose on his own. I think on the call I thought he had gotten turned, but gets loose on his own here on fresh tires out of 2. And then, yeah, you see this is Gainey trying to get it slowed down, and then he spins out on his own. Wow, strange things happening on fresh tires here. I mean, we saw Garrett Rainey at the beginning of the race just try and put the throttle down, and he shot straight to the left. Well, I guess let's back it up. I mean, let's watch what happens with Brantley here, because this is, I mean, big story of the night. He was in the driver's seat to try and make something happen to get into the playoffs, and he is now out of it. Oh, he gets loose on his own out of 2, exactly like Eric did, and he was just never able to gather it up. Wow. Fresh tires, very, very touchy here at the Rock.
So I think John Kay is going to take the outside from the looks of it here. Stearns will file in. Matt Schlosser is making good work on that restart. He's up to 4th, moves Zach Lockett back to 5th. Brady Gunter now in 3rd. Steve Roman rounding out the top 6. It's Matichek and Peterson on row 4, and Palumbo and Zittel right now rounding out the top 10. Coming to lap 54, already working the 4th caution of the race. It's not a decent run there between cautions 2 and 3. We'll see if these drivers can settle back in still with over, or just under now, 200 laps to go. Back to it. Kay getting good launches here. Schlosser to the outside of Stearns. puts Gunter back to 4th. Oh, Peterson into the wall there. He'll lose a couple spots. Kay has got them all grouped up behind him. Schlosser looking for the lead.
Big move from Schlosser. They're almost 3 wide behind him as Palumbo got super loose. Oh, Schlosser tries to pull up in front of Kay.
He was clear by a foot, but not anymore. Kay back to the outside. I think we had a problem further back, but we're still green.
Oh, Jeremy McKinnon is loose. He's going to make the save, unbelievably.
Great
Nobody's
save
been
for
able
McKinnon.
to save him so far. Jeremy McKinnon is the first to be able to do it. Now, single file for a moment at the front. Now Chad Stearns will dive below Brody Gunter. And Gunter going to work to the outside of John Kay here. And may have been cleared just for a moment. He's looking for the momentum off of 4.
Kyle
gets
Zittel
into
with
the
problems.
wall.
He is slow.
So Zittle's able to make the save and not hurt anybody else in the moment. Gunter clear of John Kay. Now Zach Lockett fighting with Chad Stearns for 4th.
Yeah, Lockett did not get a great restart a couple times in a row, but he's making up for it here with a good charge in the first few laps.
Man, he is Larson lining this thing all the way around the racetrack.
Boy, it's been a rough 3 laps for Kyle Zittel. He drops all the way to the tail of the field after making more contact with the outside wall. We're still green. Stearns and Matichek. Joshua on the outside, Chad on the inside. As again, Lockett and Matichek just chasing mid-pack finishes here tonight to make sure that there's no tomfoolery that'll kick him out of the chase, although with Brantley Gainey no longer in the equation, it seems even less likely that they two will not be fighting for the Nathan Reynolds Cup, as it's been dubbed.
When is the pay window open for points? Because things have heated up here after the restart.
We got about 15 laps until our first stage points. Schlosser leading, Gunter in second. Gunter would love some insurance points just in case. Tyler Logan is still kind of lurking around. I'll be back outside of the top 10 right now.
Oh, wow, what a move from Froman. Dives underneath the Stearns, right across the nose of Palumbo, but the room was there.
Kyle
That
Zittel
was
is
a quick decision.
Zittel just crashed down the backstretch. That's where all that smoke is. But he's the one with the yellow flag in hand. He elects not to throw it, and his race is over.
Froman and Stearns now battling side by side. Big momentum from Stearns out of 4. He'll rocket around the 00, and now he'll look to Josh Matichek.
You were talking about the low track temperature earlier, and it hasn't changed all that much, but these drivers are still slip-sliding everywhere.
I think with the bounciness, the rough terrain of the racetrack, on fresh, cooler tires, it's just, there's like no grip to be had because your tire is loading and unloading constantly.
Brody Gunter just took a stab at the lead there through 3 and 4 down low, but lost quite a bit of time there as it pushed right up to the wall. 10 laps to go before some stage points are doled out. Again, no caution will come out with that.
Vroman kind of on a bit of a slide here. Palumbo will get through. This is Luke Peterson looking for 8th.
All of a sudden, Schlosser doesn't just have to worry about Brody Gunter. John Kay and Zach Lockett have crept back into this mix as well. Monachek, Stearns, and Palumbo fighting hard. They're battling hard now for the lead as Gunter finally gets that move down low to stick. That's the best opportunity he's had thus far with Schlosser in front. It's the battle we got at Darlington for the win a couple of weeks ago. Put on pause and resumed here at Rockingham. Gunter able to get it hooked up. Little by little, he's chipping away at it here down low. He'll stay down low, side by side for P1 into turn 1, and I think he's got it. Just needed that real estate down low into the first 2 turns, and Gunter has put himself back on the top of the pylon. Schlosser's defense is not over. Now he'll have to do it in dirty air. And to point out as well, Schlosser was dropping pretty quickly there at the end of our longest green flag run of the night thus far. It was about 40 laps. But he was losing positions quite quickly before that caution came out. Maybe has pushed it a bit too hard once again here.
Now John Kay's going to have something to say here for second. He'll look underneath of Schlosser, but Zach Lockett still right here, running the top side all night long. He's lurking.
Bull Maxwell's retired from the race after one of his best finishes of the season last week. John Kay, oh boy, it looked like he got light there in the middle of the turn. And Schlosser going to ease up and give him the second spot. Now Lockett will go underneath of his former team boss.
Whoa!
As Kay down the track, nearly into the right front of Zach Lockett, as Lockett was walking it up the track as well. That was close.
That was certainly close.
Kay doesn't have to worry about anything tonight because he is already locked into the chase. I don't think there are 23 trucks running, so I think Lockett is officially in. I think we're down to 21. So welcome to the postseason, Zach Lockett. I'm sure he's going to have to pit for a change of underwear there. Because he and Kay both acknowledged how close they got into 1 and 2.
Monachek and Stearns still battling here. This is for the top 5. Monachek has still been able to keep it. Go back a little further. Tyler Logan, he's in a battle here with Jeremy McKinnon. Jeremy trying to rebound after he had to make that crazy save right at the beginning of this run.
I would say he did rebound because he's still, now he's back to 13th, but I mean, he's still running. As Stearns and Monachek now go side by side into turn 1. This is tight quarters there at a 2. Ooh, Josh Jackson got a big piece of the wall there at a turn number 2, but he still pointed the right direction.
Man, I mean, this is the epitome of what Chad Stearns does. He just runs constant, consistent laps, keeps the pressure on, and Monachek's been able to handle it up to this point, but it is unrelenting from the 05.
Now Van Leer around the outside of Andy Poliski, hanging on to 10th. As Monachek and Stearns still going at it here. And the bonus points have been doled out as well. And I think with the stage points, we can confirm that Joshua Monachek is now into the chase as well. He'll have gotten 6 smackaroos. And that would give him enough of a cushion into the drivers that did not finish this race already. So welcome to the postseason for the first time to Joshua Monachek. Remember the tear that he went on in the postseason last season, in his rookie season with the Venom Truck Series, but he did not make the cut. So it'll be good to see him fighting for the Nathan Reynolds Cup. As now Lockett and Schlosser getting a little closer together here. Schlosser's still been able to hang on to third. But for how much longer with the 93 lurking behind?
Tell you what, Andy Poliski, I think he saved some tire pretty well here. He has just consistently worked his way forward. He's up to 11th now, and he has Jan Van Leer not too far in front to try and get into the top 10.
I don't know if we mentioned it, but hello to Lisa Kelly cheering on Tyler Berger. I think you may have said that already.
Here goes Andy underneath the 5, and he will take it pretty easily. So Poliski into the top 10 now.
Oh, Palumbo and Vroman side by side. That's Palumbo trying to fend off Roman. Steve's doing exactly what he did last run, similar to Matt Schlosser. Roman dropped a bunch of positions hand over fist and then started putting on the pain in the middle part of the run. Exactly what he's doing right here. Palumbo has also been moving forward on this run as he took a big chunk of the wall there out of turn number 2.
Man, he got really, really loose, but he still kept the speed up.
Palumbo restarted on row number 5 after dropping a ton of positions on pit road. So he's made slow but steady work up to 7th. As he gets closer to Monachek, Roman gets closer to them both. I'm sure they're both just happy to be driving forward after that skirmish there to turn 2.
A little bit further back in the pack, Jeremy McKinnon, Josh Jackson, Garrett Rainey, Austin Holyfield, Rodney Matney. They're all here together as Rainey gets up into the wall. Holyfield will go through underneath. Little Star Wars paint scheme here for you with May the 4th just being on Sunday.
May the 6th be with you, Matt.
I don't think that quite hits the same, but...
No, not really. Gary Clark just had a problem. He got it into it with Brian Mitchell and knocked down the wall in turn number 1, but he brings it to pit road and we stay green. So I'm not sure how bad the damage is on Gary Clark's machine, but we've got 20 drivers that are out on track right now. We started with 27. It's been a attrition-filled race, to say the least. Our second longest green flag run of the night thus far, though. Not too far away from it being our longest green flag run of the night, I would imagine in the next handful of laps or so. Looking at Zach Lockett's lap times, he has been a little bit quicker these last few circuits than John Kay. His advantage up to second is now under a second. As, boy, they are really packed up from 13th on back. It is a huge gaggle. Looks like these guys just restarted.
Everybody's kind of coming and going here right now.
Roman on the outside of Palumbo, trying to make this charge stick finally to get up to 7th. I think he might do it. Palumbo going to hang tough here on the inside, though. I think Steve will have it through 3 and 4 as long as he's able to. Yep. Good stuff there by Roman.
Yeah, now Palumbo's going to have to worry about Peterson as well.
These two swapped their points position at Talladega last week. Boy, Luke Speaking of our race sponsor, he started this season red hot. He's cooled off a bit, but the finishes have still been there. He's just had quieter nights. Be nice to
Sometimes
see
it's
driver
not
38.
so bad.
Oh, no, certainly not. It'd be nice to see Luke sneak up towards the top 5 in this one, though, and get a little momentum headed into the postseason. Oh, Josh Jackson is slow on the bottom of the track. May have just had an issue. He was running 13th. He'll drop all the way back to 17th. But still, we stay green. Looking at lap times, there's only one driver in the 24-second bracket, and that is Chad Stearns in P4. Quickest driver last lap. Brody Gunter's still up there in the lap times as well. He's got a 2-second lead as they run here, coming to put lap 94 up on the board.
Peterson is now officially underneath of Palumbo, looking for this spot.
Boy, we almost just had a caution. Holyfield and Matney just about got tangled together out of turn number 2, and that was going to be ugly for both of them. A near miss as Peterson, speaking of the wall in turn number 2,
Boy,
Peterson will take 8th.
He was getting tight, and he did not lift. He takes a position, though.
Well, Lockett's advance on John Kay stalled out, and that's allowed Chad Stearns to close up to the 93 of Lockett here. Just about 3 truck lengths between them down the backstretch.
Rainey and McKinnon battling here as well. Rainey has hit the wall a few times, but he's still fighting here.
Expect anything less out of these two than for them to scrap for every inch of this racetrack. Drummond catching Motacek. Stearns is making the move now to the inside of Lockett for 3rd. Stearns to 3rd.
Also need to mention pit stops probably not that far away here either.
Certainly not. Everybody was down pit road on lap 46 under caution, I believe. And now we're getting close to lap 100. This is our longest green flag run of the night. A couple cautions sprinkled in the middle there, but if everybody's looking at about 60, 65 laps on tires, we're inside of 10 to go here before they can put on 4 fresh Dr. Feelgoods. I'm with you. I expected the fall off to be a little bit more than it was here. It's 25-24 for Gunter last time around compared to his best lap of 23.89. So what is that, 2.4 seconds, 1.4 seconds? My maths aren't mathing. That's still not as much as I thought it was going to be, though.
Oh, yeah,
I'm sure if you ask the drivers, their shoulders are probably hurting by this point.
Yeah, only 1.4 seconds. I mean, it is a smaller racetrack, so, I mean, if it was a little bit longer, mile and a half, it might be more like a 1.7. Oh,
Brody Gunter around from the lead. Gunter, I heard somebody thumping down the backstretch wall, and it was the 0-1. Unbelievable. He was off the track, so he stayed green, but Gunter no longer the race leader. And presumably with some big-time damage here. New leader is John Kay, and he's got Chad Stearns close it in.
A couple of drivers down pit road. Jeremy McKinnon and Paul Sargent have made their way down. Brian Mitchell has as well. Mitchell quite a few laps down, though, but those other two were on the lead lap.
Man, what happened to Brody Gunter?
See if we can take a quick look before pit stops really kick off here. Oh, and Sargent in front of Gunter makes contact with the wall, and Gunter has to make an evasive maneuver. It doesn't, I mean, it gets Gunter loose, and Gunter's just not quite able to gather it up. And also made some contact with the inside wall there. Not terrible, but, I mean, certainly loses the track position. A little bit of damage as well.
Jade has fallen over the racetrack. It has cooled off by 3 degrees almost instantly as these drivers trying to squeeze every last drop out of this Goodyear rubber that they can before pit stops in the next 5 laps or so. Chad Stearns had cut the gap to about half a second. At the line right now, it's 3/4 of a second. So Kay has put the afterburners on here for the moment. I mean, it got dark here.
It certainly has. Hard to make out the numbers in the cars here right now.
No kidding. I just want to point out it's 5:30, not 9. This might help some of these drivers stay out for a couple laps longer. We did see Jeremy McKinnon come down pit road. Paul Sargent has been on pit road now as well after the contact with Gunter. But McKinnon, seemingly the only driver to put on fresh rubber, looking to undercut for some positions. Given how much longer everybody stayed out, this is going to be a big undercut here for McKinnon. He's going to have his work cut out for him in the long run.
I mean, it seems like the fall off kind of stabilizes, though. So, I mean, he might end up being okay at the end of the run here.
Speaking of stabilizing, Brody Gunter came back out ahead of Andy Poliski in 9th and has been able to put just a bit of distance between he and the 32. Now he starts to try and close in little by little on Hayden Palumbo for 8th. It was certainly an unexpected turn of events in this one. We thought Gunter was on cruise control. We did have some rolling shade in practice, but it wasn't quite this intense. Because this is not rolling. This is stayed here.
Yeah, it's stayed this way for quite a few minutes now. I mean, you can see off in the distance it looks somewhat partly cloudy, but it is dark over the racetrack.
I think we're either in the midst of a thunderstorm or a solar eclipse. One of the two.
Everybody get your glasses on.
We'll keep it pointed at the track just in case it decides to break. We talked about Poliski being on the move forward earlier. Tyler Logan has just overtaken him now for 10th. So Logan has preserved his tire seemingly pretty well. Logan with an outside chance to overtake the final chase position. So missed out on stage points in the first stage. We'll have another opportunity to do that on lap 150. Nice double stage points night to close out the regular season. Already been a very eventful race. Expecting pit stops any moment from your race leaders.
Stearns back within a half a second of John Kay now.
Yeah, these times have really been seesawing between the two. They've had to let some faster traffic go, Jeremy McKinnon, and also have approached some slower traffic. Ronnie Matney's down pit road now, just outside of the top 15.
I think I might have been very wrong about that 50-lap, 5-time strategy. Seems like everybody's just wanting to stay out here.
Well, I'm surprised because the numbers I heard floating around were 65 for tires, as Gunter is underneath Palumbo here looking for 8th. I know we've got some shade on the track right now and some caution laps in the mix there, but we are just about past that window here. So these drivers have been able to find something. Gunter takes that spot. Stearns getting closer and closer inside of 3 truck lengths now for the race lead.
Palumbo trying to fight back. Not quite able to get there. It is Gunter's position.
Okay, and Stearns battling through the traffic. There's Josh Jackson, been in the wall a couple of times. Staying up top for the leaders. Jackson says he's coming to pit this time.
Matichek and Schlosser very close together here. This is a battle for 4th. They have Mitchell behind them, who's on fresher tires.
Youch. Andy Poliski, maybe the first driver to mix it up here. He will come down pit road. For the drivers that are racing around him, that is certainly going to grab their attention, and it's going to send it up the leaderboard here as here comes Zach Lockett from 3rd.
And Palumbo on his way in as well.
Start. Kicking it off.
Let's see.
John Kay, the master of the undercut, and he is
here
not going to get left out. Stearns will answer. It was a late call, a late answer from Stearns, but he corrals it quite well. Bit of a tricky pit road.
Yeah, coming off the pretty high banking, it is tough.
And a very short amount of time to get a woe down and get down to pit road speed. Brody Gunter says he's coming this time. As new leader is Matt Schlosser in the 04. Matichek and Vroman right behind them. Here is Gunter now from 5th. Race off pit road. There goes John Kay out ahead of the 05. Jeremy McKinnon is out ahead of them, but again, he's been on track for nearly 15 laps at this point. So Kane Stearns should be able to get by him relatively quickly. Tyler Logan, Jan Van Leer down pit road now.
This makes it 8. No, only 7 drivers that have yet to come down now.
Luke Peterson will be pitting this time. Hayden Palumbo with the purple lap of the race as the sun begins to peek out once again.
Peterson, a little weeble wobble, but he gets it slowed down. Here comes Matichek past Matt Schlosser.
And that is for the race lead. Schlosser looking pretty unsteady there with the back end of that truck. Vroman is right there. Matichek will grab himself a bonus point. John Kay threw on Jeremy McKinnon, and that is the battle for the provisional lead. It's for 8th on track currently. But that's going to bottle up Chad Stearns for another half a lap or another set of corners at least.
And McKinnon came in 18 laps earlier than Kay and Stearns. That's a pretty good amount of laps there.
If the caution were to come out right now, John Kay's in the lucky dog position. Here comes Matichek and Vroman down pit road. We'll see if Matt Schlosser elects to come in. It is congested here, though. So Schlosser back in control.
I don't think Schlosser even had a choice to come down pit road. He was hung out there on the top.
Yeah, he was trapped up there on the top side. Lots of drivers with fresher tires all around him. Schlosser's staying down low. Looks like he'll be pitting this time. So that leaves for now Tyler Bergert, Garrett Rainey, and Austin Holyfield. So new leader at the stripe, it is Tyler Bergert. Came oh so close to that first victory last week at Talladega. Had to settle for bronze for the second season in a row. But leading here at the Rock. Garrett Rainey says he's pitting this time from second. And Holyfield will pit as well. Tyler Bergert, the last driver to make a stop, still in control of the field. John Kay now with a 1.6 second lead back to Chad Stearns. Or I should say advantage, as they're only up to second and third. And Tyler says he's pitting this time. The Caterpillar 44 will have 4 fresh Dr. Feelgoods, the freshest on the track. And John Kay back in control. Big net positive for Jeremy McKinnon for now. Like you mentioned, big tire lap differential here. But, you know, was running outside of the top 10. He cycles out to third when this cycle's all said and done.
Yeah, I mean, he came down right on lap 100, which tells me he may be one of the only drivers really opting for that 4-stop strategy on the 50-lap markers. So we'll see how that plays out here for the 12.
Unfortunately, not only is this fixed setup, but you can't change the motors. You know, back in the day, they used to tune the motors differently if they wanted to go into fuel conservation mode and all that stuff. Thinking of you, Paul Wolf, and Brad Keselowski. So you could toy around with that a little bit, but unfortunately, you can't. So McKinnon will have to do it the hard way. Lockett approaching the 12 rather quickly. Zach would love to get himself back on a provisional podium step. Jeremy up high, Lockett down low. You know, Jeremy does have somewhat of a long shot opportunity to get into the chase as well. Especially considering the fact that he has missed multiple races here this season. I mean, he has made his starts count, to say the least. Now has some space to operate with behind him back to Hayden Palumbo. Hearing a lot of drivers getting up into the wall here. Everybody's trying to get as much as they can out of these fresh tires, and it is evident. Matt Schlosser is carving his way up through the field on some of the freshest tires on the track. He's caught Tyler Logan trying to get back up into P10.
Yeah, him, Steve Roman, just behind him working through Matney right now. He is on a similar strategy.
Oh, Josh Jackson slams the inside wall down the backstretch. He was pulling up behind Chad Stearns and Brian Mitchell, and that truck just got out from underneath of him. That is a hard shot for the Red Bull 7, and that is probably race over. But we are still green.
We are just about 10 laps past the halfway point. Still a long ways to go in this one.
Yeah, no kidding. And we are 1 hour into this, 1 hour and 4 minutes and 4 seconds to be exact. So appreciate anybody that's still hanging out with us here. It is the Bible School at the Rock presented by Baby Billy's Bible Bonkers. And somebody will be looking for Hallelujah, What a Payday in another hour's time. Palumbo just got through on Jeremy McKinnon as Rainey and Gunter. Boy, that was almost a disaster. These two are teammates now, but they tangled a couple of times last season. Rainey on much fresher tires, but is a lap down, so this is not for position. Gunter driving a little angry, I'm sure, but he'll make quick work of Jeremy McKinnon here. As Eric Breeding is up in the wall there. So now a little separation between most of the field. Schlosser's still in a tear. He's catching Joshua Monacek here rather quickly. But some of these drivers, I think, are starting to settle in for what could be a long haul, and it already is.
Yeah, I mean, we're coming up to almost a 100-lap run here.
Just about. And historically, last season was the outlier. We had 13 cautions here last season. But the most that we ever had before that was 5, which is, I think, where we're sitting right now, maybe 4 or 5. And it can all go awry still. Don't worry. And a lot of people would argue that it has, considering that we only have, I think, 17, maybe 18 drivers out on track as they run.
Closest battle on the racetrack is between Schlosser and Matacek. We'll go on board with Matt Schlosser. Watch him work behind the 60 here. Both of these drivers, 2 of the last drivers to come down pit road on the cycle.
Poliski through on McKinnon as Schlosser trying to get through on Monacek. Joshua fighting back here up top. It'll be Schlosser through this time.
So these two will be up next to try and get around Jeremy here. But if Jeremy is on the alternate strategy we spoke about earlier, his pit stop is only 6-7 laps away here probably.
Jan Van Leer and Rodney Matney just made some pretty significant contact. Matney got up into the wall there in turn number 1. But they both kept it pointed straight. Yeah, McKinnon starting to back it up quite a bit. Almost a full second slower than the drivers around him last time around. Vroman on his way back forward. He's underneath of Tyler Logan, and he'll be coming up on McKinnon here pretty quick.
Battle for 4th. Gunter underneath of Hayden Palumbo here.
You mentioned that we're about 20 laps past halfway at this point. I'm still not ruling out Brody Gunter for a win, even if we stay green the rest of the way. I mean, he's rolling.
I mean, we've seen it and we've said it so many times. You make Brody Gunter angry, and the fastest laps you'll ever see are what to follow. And not only did they make him angry, but it happened early. I mean, he still has plenty of time to put in blistering laps here. And I think you're right. I definitely would not rule him out whatsoever.
This lap for Brody Gunter in clean air is a 24.78. And that is faster than Zach Lockett, but not quicker than John Kay or Chad Stearns right now. That was a quick pass for Luke Peterson on his teammate Palumbo. We've breached back into the top 5 here. We got a couple drivers closing in on one another, but while we got a second, I do want to get a quick plug in. Because if you like Turn 200, boy, you're about to have a great summer. We are locked and loaded with a full slate here in our final full-time season of broadcasting. We've got, of course, action tomorrow night and Wednesday nights through most of the summer with the SRL Sports Car Championship presented by Purple Haze Auto Sports. Tomorrow night, they're at Circuit of the Americas, so catch us at 8:15 p.m. Eastern Time for that one. Thursday night, Max V will be back in action as always, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time for that one. Of course, it's slipping my mind where they are this coming Thursday night, but they are closing in on their chase as well. Monday nights, starting this Monday, we'll have the Ghost Squadron Formula Super Series back in action. Very excited for the Super Formula car to return to Turn 200. You can catch us at, I believe, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time for that one as well. And, of course, Venom Truck Series will be back for the 10th season, I've been told, at the late summer for the 10th season of the Venom Truck Series. I know the date. I don't want to say it out loud. But as quickly as I got that plug in, I hope you join us for all that. Chad Stearns has, started to blow the doors off of John Kay on the timing charts, and he has cut that gap to half a second now, even with Jan Van Leer in the middle of him. Did see a pit stop from Rodney Matney. He's been on and off pit road. Jeremy McKinnon is yet to make his stop, however. We would expect that soon. Probably in the next 10 laps or so. McKay saw that his advantage went from about a second and a half to half a second, and he has started to pick the pace back up, even as Stearns has had to get through a little bit of lap traffic. Peterson has caught Brody Gunter, and this, coming off the heels of what we just said a minute ago, might be a little bit of a surprise.
Yeah, this is probably Gunter using up the tires a little too much here early on. Either that or he's waiting to make his really big push here further on. See, he's starting to fight. He may have just been slowing his pace down a little bit because when he needed to turn it on, he sure did.
Yeah, he certainly did.
Oh, and now he gets into the wall. I think a lot of these drivers might be eyeballing maybe lap 185 or so, maybe another 30 laps. Give themselves about a 65-lap run to the end.
Boy, look at this mess that Josh Omadechek's in right now. They were 3 wide. He just lost 3 spots to Poliski, Schlosser, and Vroman. Went from 7th to 10th in just about 3/4 of a lap. And Schlosser and Vroman are not out of the woods yet. That's Rodney Matney that's in that mix as well, and Matney's on the freshest tires of anybody. Oh, Matney! Wow, nearly buries it in the door there. And as we're watching all this, Stearns continuing to inch closer and closer. He's caught John Kay to a 1/4 of a second now. All that separates them is the lap truck of Jeremy McKinnon. Peterson and Gunter close together. Madechek and Schlosser battling hard here with Vroman and Poliski. And we had a few laps of just riding around, but these drivers all of a sudden have got their elbows back out. He seems to lose the most time when he's not in the clean air, when he's got lap trucks in front of him. He's able to maintain this gap pretty well now that he's got some track in front of him. Next driver up would be Brian Mitchell, but Mitchell just came off pit road, so I'd imagine he's putting time on the leaders. Kane Stearns battling for the lead. Lockett in third. Gunter and Peterson now side by side for spot number 4. It's Peterson is back on the march forward here. Of course, Gunter is going to make him work for it. This track is continuing to cool off. We're down to 81 degrees on the track temperature. Even with the rolling shade out of the area. It is still about 7 o'clock in the sim, or 6 o'clock rather. It's going to continue to improve here. Stearns now less than 2 truck lengths away. Chad's starting to look around here. Had a little daylight in front of him.
Oh, you really hear the tires slide here on the in-car shot for Chad there on entry into 3.
One and 2 is where you want the bottom. K runs the middle. Stearns down on the paint.
Stearns is just going to continue to bottom feed this. That is what he has done all night. I don't think he's going to go away from it.
He has hit the wake of this 2 truck, and it has provided some difficulty here. Truck behind these 2 is Gary Clark, so he's not for position.
Stearns is getting loose. I mean, you saw the wheel inputs. You heard him try and get into the throttle, and tires started to squeal on him a little bit. Rear end started kicking out.
Yeah, and that gap has opened up just a bit. Another 10th. CO5 starting to slip away, at least here temporarily. Okay, right up snug to the wall there out of 4. He's still pushing hard.
Side-by-side battle a little bit further back. Roman and Palumbo battling here for 6th. And Roman narrowly able to pull up in front.
Roman on a few lap fresher tires than Palumbo, but I mean, this is in line with what we've seen from the 00 all night. He's had maybe the best long-run pace out of anybody. And he is slowly but surely picking his way back up the running order after a good start or good starting position, rather, on the grid earlier this evening. $122 miles of green flag racing consecutively. Now that I've said that, I've probably jinxed it, but this has been one of the longer runs we've seen from the Venom Truck Series, period. Because we had 85 laps to open up the season at Daytona completely caution-free, which was a nice surprise. But this has been a great run here.
Yeah, I mean, with the amount of laps that we have here available in the race, with the drivers buckling down here, I mean, I don't know what the record is for a green flag run, but we could potentially set it here tonight, maybe.
Well,
we'll just double down that jinx.
Yeah. We went 212 and a half miles consecutively to open up the season at Daytona, so we got a ways to go. Not impossible, though. There is enough laps for that.
Yeah, on the lap count we could, I mean, maybe not in miles, but lap count I think we could.
Sure. Well, Stearns got closer there for a second, but then faded back to half a second.
As a group starting to come together a little bit here, just inside the top 10. Matacek, Palumbo, Poliski, and Schlosser are starting to all near each other. But not too far behind them, Tyler Logan sits just a little ways back as well.
Jeremy McKinnon is still not pit. It's getting to the point now where he's got to be concerned on fuel.
So he's made it
74 laps into this run.
He's made it 75 laps. He has to make it another 75. So he knows he can make it on fuel to the end here, basically.
So is he thinking maybe everybody else is going to pit twice and he's going to go for a one-stopper? Driving around this truck right now, he looks completely miserable.
Everybody's going to make one more stop from here on out. They got one more stop. I would assume it's coming in the next 20 laps here, and then we're going to have an all-out brawl to the end.
Well, McKinnon's last lap was a 25.7. He's only, 7 or 8 tenths off the pace, maybe 6 or 7 tenths. But this truck is looking rather devilish. Schlosser, Poliski, Palumbo, all right here. First up will be Andy trying to make a move here on Hayden.
Kind of muscles up underneath a little bit. Doesn't quite have the run off of 2, but he'll be able to send it here into 3 and 4 up the racetrack a touch.
And you can still see these trucks bouncing all around. These drivers are going to be worn out. Here's McKinnon down pit road.
I would say he just about ran that out.
Yeah, I think you're right. Oh, Andy, a bit of a clip of the apron there. Schlosser and Palumbo and Poliski almost all made contact there. Definitely contact between Andy and Hayden, and now Hayden is up into the wall.
Now he's going to look for the crossover, but a little bit loose, yanking the truck down. He's dead even with Poliski.
Oh, it does not get much closer than those last 2 exits out of 2. Serious carnage across a very thin line. We almost waddled up. Now Schlosser's turn to take the long way around Palumbo. And he will. Hayden back to 10th. Tyler Logan not too far behind. Stearns continuing to fade after what looked to be a promising opportunity to take the lead, but now he's back to 9/10 of a second. His pit stops should be here shortly for the race leaders. Jeremy McKinnon is flying up on your top 2 on the fresh rubber. You want to see what the fall off looks like visually? This is it. Whee! Roman approaching Brody Gunter here.
Whoa! John Kay called out the top and then kind of got loose off of 2, and him and McKinnon nearly collided.
Froman has to roll out of it big time not to bury the notes of that truck in the left rear quarter panel of Gunter there out of turn number 2. So that will cost Froman some time. Gunter, I think, hit the wall trying to arc into the
Here
corner on
comes
entry.
Palumbo.
Oh, and this is not a surprise. Palumbo restarted 10th, got up to 6th, and then fell back to 10th. With Tyler Logan knocking on the door to knock him out of the top 10. Palumbo making the first move here. Roman continuing to work over Gunter in the meantime. Steve wants to get up into the top 5. Oh boy, he's loose. Here comes Chad Stearns from second.
Alrighty. So Chad is going to start the undercut here. Zach Lockett coming in here as well.
I would imagine everybody will be coming.
Yep, here comes John
from
Kay.
this top 5. Yep. Kay
Call.
down to pit road speed.
Sounds like Peterson might be coming here as well.
Yep.
He is. Here comes Gunter. Yeah, this is going to bring just about everybody. Garrett Rainey in as well. Let's see where Kay is able to come out in comparison to Stearns here. Stearns making his way through turns 3 and 4 as we speak. Line gets caught up a little bit there by some traffic, but not too much. Kay just now getting out of his box.
Kay spent an extra 10th on pit road compared to Stearns, and that is going to be good enough. Paired with the new tires sooner for Stearns to get out to the lead for the first time.
John's going to be careful on cold tires here not to try and chase the rabbit of the 05 a little too hard here.
Here comes Andy Poliski from third. Jan Van Leer close to the top 5. He'll come down pit road this time. Tyler Logan says he's coming in this time.
Josh Monacek in here as well.
So that leaves Steve Roman out in front of the field.
I think it's him and Austin Holyfield are the last two that have not come down pit road. That'll happen much more quickly than the previous round of pit stops did.
Yes, it certainly did. I think Tyler Berger may be out there still as well, but yeah, you're right. Only a handful, if that. Berger coming in now. So Roman out on Steve Island, which we've seen him on before. It can't be more than a couple more laps.
Kay has wasted no time in getting to the back of the 05.
Yeah, he talked about maybe him wanting not to shock these tires. They've gotten up to snuff here pretty quick, apparently.
Did we miss a Jeremy McKinnon penalty? Did you call that out?
I did not.
He is 2 laps down here.
Yeah, he certainly is. I'll go investigate that as you continue to watch John Kay's progress here. I'm showing a 42-second stop time for Jeremy McKinnon. So, yeah, I'm not sure what the deal is. And that's from entry to exit, not just in the box.
Here comes Holyfield. So I believe this leaves only Steve Roman.
I believe you're correct. So smoke on the back stretch. Not sure from who. Everybody looks to be up to speed. Okay, continuing to hound Stearns here for the provisional lead. As John has loved the top side, Stearns has loved the bottom. It's nice when you're going to battle and these two drivers have the lanes that they want, that they prefer. And they're both equally as good as the other in the lane that they want to be in. Stearns having to go up top with Gary Clark in front. Okay, Pinkin down low. I think this battle will be for the lead once again as Steve Roman is coming in right now. We'll see what that leaves a 0-0, but Stearns, the leader, for the first time today. Yeah, for such a long race and for such a long green flag run. We're coming up to 160 laps at this point. Mike Milfeld in the chat, absolutely dead on. Great battling all through the top 10. Battles for the lead, battles for the top 5, for the top 10. Great stuff here thus far.
Gunter is coming up on Zach Lockett. Speaking of that top 10, this is for 4th.
By the way, Steve Roman out 12th.
And he's not too far behind Poliski, who's getting by his teammate McKinnon. And Tyler Logan looking to do the same here.
Boy, these leaders are really putting on a display at the front of the field. The top 6 are on the lead lap currently.
And John in the 2 has not left the bumper of the 05.
Well, Stearns got awfully loose there into turn number 2, and John was able to cut that gap in half. Yeah, long green run. Stickers McQueen says absolutely. We're going to go back green, lap 47, maybe? 44?
Yeah, I think the pit stops were on lap 46, so probably lap 48, maybe?
Long damn run.
Okay, continues to work here. Peterson and Gunter are now battling as Lockett still in front of Gunter here. Now Peterson is in the mix as these drivers are looking to get through on Luke here, and they both do. So Lockett now up to 3rd in a podium position.
That's where he's been for a lot of this race. Peterson and Gunter in the back half of this race have been side by side quite a bit. Luke just can't quite get through on the 01, even though he's had the pace. Okay, again, he's here. He's starting to search around. He's to the inside of the 05 for the race lead.
Stearns is up off the bottom. He's been on the bottom pretty much all night. Now he's Started running a little middle and top throughout the racetrack here.
And as soon as John hits that maybe 2 truck length gap, right to where he is now, a little less than a truck length, you could tell that is just riding in dirty air. It's tough around here.
Yeah, he's trying to do what he can to not be directly behind the 05, but it's very difficult.
This is certainly a track where you need to race the track. Unfortunately, it's so small that you have no choice but to race the people around you. Exactly what John is doing here, trying to take the fight to the 05 to get back into the lead of this race.
I think he's hoping to be able to just be nearly even with Chad so he can take the bottom in turns 1 and 2. But he just can't get a good enough run out of turn 4, running the bottom here. Chad up top just has a lot of momentum.
John trying to study what Brody Gunter did to him earlier in this race to take the lead. Exactly what she said. Trying to hammer the bottom. Stern's taking that away from him in 1 and 2. We're going to be awfully close to it being very dark around Rockingham by the end of this race. It is now 7 o'clock in the sim.
John runs more the middle there. We haven't seen the middle run a whole lot there through turns 3 and 4. You're either pretty far up or you're all the way on the bottom.
The only time we saw John running the middle was when he was trying to throw some dirty air on Chad Stearns. Oh, Stearns loose up the track. Kay rotates nicely there on the bottom, and they're side by side for the lead into 1. This is right where John wants to be. Door to door for the lead at Rockingham late into the long race. Now it's Kay that's loose. Stearns fighting back up top.
Kay needs to have
John.
another. Oh, and he's able to clear.
Slider. Stearns now will go down to the bottom.
Oh, boy.
Stearns almost clear. Kay now fighting back on the top. They still have nothing to worry about behind. They are 17 seconds clear of Zach Lucken.
This is turning out to be an instant classic as John Kay able to clear Stearns into 1.
Rockingham is 3 for 3 in 2025 here on the channel of delivering just banger after banger after banger. Kay back to the lead, battling for 10th right now. Poliski and Logan were side by side, but Poliski is hanging on to that spot for now, but Logan will surge back on the inside. Peterson and Gunter still pretty close to one another here as well, as Luke has still not been able to find a way through on the 0-1.
Lockett trying to work through quite a bit of traffic here. He's getting bogged down a little bit.
I mean, these guys are maybe looking to get lapped by the end of this race. I mean, John and Chad are coming up on Hayden Palumbo right now. And Palumbo's in 6th. Oh no, Joshua Matacek may have just lagged out of the race. Oh no, he's back. Okay. Oh goodness. I
Turn
mean,
the
he's
camera
already
off,
third
brother.
in the race anyway.
Save the resources. Logan and Poliski still nose to tail here. Nothing doing so far. It's getting to that point in the run where it is very, very difficult to make any passes. John Kay did it at the perfect moment.
Kay catching Palumbo here. Another 5 seconds up the road to the battle between Peterson and Gunter. John Kay and Chad Stearns, and you know Brody Gunter would be in this mix as well if it weren't for his issues. But they have put on a clinic here today. And, there's the confirmation from our meteorologist, Bailey Bonacek. And the south is getting hammered by some storms currently, so hopefully everybody in the south is staying safe. As Bonacek nearly turning Garrarini there. Speaking of Southerner violence there. Mississippi versus Alabama. And now to Bonacek's outside will be Steve Roman. With the second place runner in front of him, they battle for 7th. Bonacek again just getting pinched down by the 13. Vroman on the freshest tires on the track. So it may have happened anyway. Half a second for John Kay, back to Chad Stearns. As it is 25 laps to go.
Gunter's starting to close back in on Lockett here as well.
Lockett getting bottled up behind Jeremy McKinnon. And Gunter, man, he is just eating that gap right up. Lockett pinned down low. Gunter now to the outside.
Lockett's in a bit of an uncomfortable position. He's been running the top most of the night, and he finds himself on the bottom. Gunter is clear to third.
Lockett just let out a huge exhale. I think these drivers are tuckered out, to say the least. Caution!
Oh, caution! Oh, dear!
Brody Gunter. Again. Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
Yes.
Well.
Yes. Well, I guess it's a good thing that they saved a set of tires, huh?
Almost 200 laps. 180-ish of green flag running. And now we'll have a restart inside of 20 to go. With only a handful of drivers on the lead lap, truly. We're only going to have 7 with Steve Roman getting lucky dog here.
I mean, those leaders are...
Boy.
I would assume the leaders are going to come down for tires.
Yep, John Kay is in, Chad Stearns is in, and Lockett is not even into turn 3 yet.
I thought we would see some people try and stay out to take the wave around, but it doesn't appear that's the case.
So Vroman around the pace truck, he'll be back on the lead lap. I think Schlosser and Rainey will take the wave around here. So Matt Schlosser will be banking on another caution, but he'll make 8 on the lead lap. And McKinnon behind him will make 9. Jan Van Leer will make 10.
Okay, so there's 3 there. Those other drivers
Race
are
off
looking
pit
for
road. Chad Stearns, I think, got John Kay. Boy, if he got him, it was by a whisker. But Stearns is staying ahead. I think he got it.
I think according to scoring, I think that is right.
Wow. big-time stuff here.
Yeah, I mean,
Under caution.
that's
Go
a
ahead.
big advantage for Stearns. He's going to be able to start on the bottom, which is where you want to be in turns 1 and 2 anyways, but then you get to control the restart. I mean, think about how long it took John Kay to figure out how to make that pass on Stearns and make it stick. He's going to have a very limited amount of laps here, and he's got to hope that there's no cautions to impede his chances either.
Well, here's the thing. As we're going to start to double up here for this restart, we can't mess around with a bunch of cautions here because it's getting dark. I just popped into a test drive session on the track as they're running right now. It is incredibly dark. There are no lights here. We're going to wave them around for one more lap here. So if we haven't already, let's take a look very quickly at what happened to bring out the 5th caution of the race.
Well, here's a look. And Gunter comes together with McKinnon. As they're coming off of turn number 4, McKinnon looking for that outside to middle line, and Gunter figures McKinnon's going to be all the way up on the wall, and they make contact. So that is the additional setback there for the 01.
20 drivers still running, 10 on the lead lap. Darkness looming over Rockingham. Chad Stearns takes the lead off the race-off pit road after a long green flag run. Stearns and Kay on row 1, Lockett Peterson row 2, Palumbo Schlosser row 3. And lots of single file behind them. Back it away. Stearns with a great restart. Kay with Lockett to the inside. Lockett is tied on the door. Inside of 20 laps to go.
Kay should be able to use the momentum around the outside here to take sole possession of second place, and he does. He'll look to Chad Stearns once again. Very little light on the racetrack right now.
At least the sun is back out from behind some clouds, but that is going to hamper visibility some amount as well. Palumbo, Peterson, Gunter, all tight together here. Schlosser still out there on older tires after taking the wave around. Roman had to go all the way to the tail of the field as the Lucky Dog car, so he actually restarted 10th instead of 7th.
Purple lap for John Kay.
Yes, he is clocking some big-time laps here. Kay down low underneath the 05.
He's going for it again. Needs to be even. Stearns hits the wall out of 4.
That seemed to help him out just a bit, though. Still firing on all cylinders up top, trying to hang on to this lead. Lockett has to chase it all the way down to the yellow line there down the backstretch. Kay muscling this 2 truck underneath, looking to get clear on the lead.
Stearns doing everything he can to keep Kay from being clear. Kay tries to clear himself. Wasn't available.
Boy, that was close. Kay walks it up the track. Still side by side for the lead, but the advantage now swinging back in the direction of the 05.
These two are duking it out.
Oh, Stearns into the wall
on his own.
Saves it. I don't know how, but he'll drop second. He'll drop third, maybe fourth as well. Matichek not for position, so it is Chad Stearns back to 5th. My goodness. I mean, he rolled out of the throttle early. He knew he was in trouble. The good news for everybody around him is that he didn't make it anybody else's problem. But now all of a sudden, after not being the best long-run truck of the night, Palumbo on a short run to the checkers finds himself back on the provisional podium with Peterson right behind him. Lockett now up to second.
And you're right about Palumbo's short-run pace has certainly been there. He's struggled on the long runs, but doesn't have to worry about it here.
Oh, still looks like that truck is a handful. Trying to challenge Lockett for P2. We talked about Peterson being a bit quiet through most of this season. Palumbo, after an early win this season, has also been fairly quiet. This will be a big shot in the arm to his chase chances. Stearns, feeling the effects of the damage, is not gaining on Luke Peterson. And John Kay just hoping this one goes green to the end. Palumbo's starting to look around here to the inside of Lockett for P2. A little tense, to say the least.
I think everybody's just wanting this thing to race out to the end here at this point.
For the sake of their muscles and for the sake of wanting to be able to see anything, certainly they are hoping for this one to go the rest of the way. 6 to go.
I mean, in the driver's seat, still a decent amount of light. But, man, from the top down, it is tough to see.
Problems for Tyler Bergert. He is just towed back to the pits where it's still green.
Closest battle out there is between Brody Gunter and Steve Roman.
Andy Poliski in front of them did not elect to take the wave around as, oh, that was a tank swapper there for Roman. Three laps to go for John Kay. Zach Lockett is closing. Maybe not done yet. 0.6 of a second, though. He's going to have to really eat into this gap this time around. Lap traffic on the much older tires here to deal with in the final 2 laps. These are your wave around drivers that did not get to come down and put on fresh rubber. Gap is not closing, but that could change in a hurry. Kay directing traffic over the radio. This race is official, 1 lap to go. These drivers have endured the Durance race.
A lot of traffic in front of Kay still.
Lockett bottled up behind the 12 of McKinnon. But if you're looking for momentum, look no further than your defending series champion. 2 in a row to close out the regular season, and 2 in a row at The Rock. John Kay is back on top here. He'll take the Bible School at The Rock, presented by Baby Billy's Bible Bunkers. And as it's 2 in a row for John Kay. It's 2 P2s in a row for Zach Lockett to match his best career finish in the Venom Truck Series. Hayden Palumbo with a persevering run to take home the bronze tonight. Peterson and Stearns round out the top 5. Stearns and Gunter there 5th and 6th will be mightily disappointed with those finishes. Matt Schlosser will take the regular season championship and be the top seed headed into the playoffs. But what a night for John Kay, and what a closing stretch to the season for driver number 2. After a couple of disappointing races at some of his favorite tracks, he takes a surprise win at Talladega last week and a pretty convincing victory here tonight at the Rock. And the surviving members of the team are out there to celebrate. Because let me tell you, there weren't many surviving members of any team here this night. This was a rough one, even with the amount of green flag running that we got in here. That was a tough night. 1 hour and 54 minutes and 46 seconds. Almost 2 hours here tonight. Well-deserved burnouts. And we'll make it official with the points here as soon as they are available to us. But let's get a full finishing rundown here after a long night in Rockingham. John Kay with back-to-back victories breaks the tie, now his 3rd all-time on the all-times win list by himself with career victory number 13. Congrats to John. Congrats to Zach Lockett on back-to-back runner-up finishes. We'll talk to him in just a second. We'll talk to Hayden Palumbo here, who will start 3rd and finish 3rd, and that will not tell the story of his night, not even a little bit. How about plus 10 for Luke Peterson? He'll take home a convincing 4th here this evening. Chad Stearns will be awfully disappointed to take home P5, but that is where he'll settle when it's all said and done. Brody Gunter likewise there in 6th. Steve Roman will finish in the 7th spot. It'll be Matt Schlosser in 8th. Jan Van Leer will be the last driver on the lead lap in 9th. Jeremy McKinnon in 10th. Joshua Monacek in P11. Tyler Logan, Andy Poliski, Garrett Rainey, Rodney Matney, the rest of the top 15. 2 down in 16th for Austin Holyfield. Tyler Berger did not finish this race. He'll finish in 17th ahead of Brian Mitchell, who did finish this race in 18th. Eric Breeding also running there at the end, 19th. Gary Clark was also running at the end in 20th, 36 laps down. And Josh Jackson did not finish this race. Neither did anybody below him. From 22nd onward, it is Paul Sargent, Cole Maxwell, Kyle Zittel, Brantley Gainey, Kevin Sargent, and an early exit for Josh Freed. We'll all wait with bated breath to see if Freed was able to hang on to the final chase position. But we will see how that all shaked out here momentarily. But a very interesting night for Hayden Palumbo. He saw a lot of the field going past him one direction or the other, but we'll settle with a podium here tonight when it's all said and done. An easy start 3rd, finish 3rd night. How about it?
It's a tough one. I'm not proud of that performance.
Boy, I mean, to come home with the 3rd, though, after all that, first of all, 100 and God knows how many lap green flag run there. You stick it out, stick with the strategy, and catch the caution when it matters most and execute on pit road there. I mean, an eventful race, to say the least.
It definitely was, and I'm exhausted. That one's tough. It's just
Go ahead.
it's mini Dover or mini. I don't know. I think it's if Bristol, Dover, and Darlington had a baby, it's Rockingham. It's just awful.
Yeah, but there's no lights here either. You can't even get the best of Bristol. But I mean, you get that restart coming to 20 to go. How are you feeling in one direction or another, other than probably just happy to get a little break in?
I mean, I was happy that there was a line of cars 20 deep to 10th, I think, or something. I was like, well, I mean, I pretty much got a top 10 secured. I'm good. That's all I was trying to do. They're that pretty much from the second run, I would say. It's like, hey, if I can finish in the top 10, it's a win for me tonight. So,
Matt, what you got?
Well, you certainly did better than a top 10. You got a podium, but you mentioned it. You're glad this one's over. I think a lot of drivers are glad this one might be over here tonight, and we get to look forward to the playoffs now. Already locked in coming into tonight, so a little bit of a buffer there for you. But now we're gonna look towards the chase. How are we feeling going into the next 5?
I'm trying to do what I did last year, man. Just score the most points and finish every race. I mean, obviously, I think most important. Just stay out of accidents, stay out of incidents, keep the truck clean the whole race. Stage points are going to matter. Every little bonus point you can get matters. So score, score, score.
And that's what I was going to point out as well. Of course, you had to miss Bristol, the chase opener last season, but through the next 4 races, man, you were absolutely rocking and rolling. So we'll look forward to Chicagoland next week and see if we could get another immaculate chase run for you. But in the meantime, let's get some shout-outs before we let you go.
Shout out Mom and Dad. I think they're watching. I don't know if my wife's watching. Team Alabama game super kick. I mean, it was a heck of a night from everybody. I think we had 3 or 4 in the top 10. So it was just a dominant run. I'll say I was the anchor of that, but it was still a heck of a run by the guys. So shout out y'all always. I usually go back and watch the broadcast, so it's always kind of fun to watch and let y'all pick on me for not really running in the front, but there I am running first. The majority of weeks at some point of the race. So it's always fun to watch that happen. So.
Well, certainly. We'll look forward to lots of front running here in the next 5 weeks. But in the meantime, go rest up after this one, and we'll hopefully talk to you again in Chicagoland.
All right, we'll see you.
All right, we'll pull up your second place finisher now. It's time to talk to Zach Lockett for the second week in a row here with the silver medal. And I mentioned it earlier in this broadcast that Rockingham last season was kind of the race that put you on our radar as a significantly improved driver, and you even went above and beyond what you did last season here. And man, what a run here tonight in the endurance race.
Yeah, I am definitely worn out. I think there was a point in the race. I feel like I ran so much just like in my own little bubble that I forgot. I just watched 40 laps click by and just blacked out. But no, it was a great run. Really excited to finish second here, second last week, third the week before. It's just all coming together at the right time. So really, really happy about that.
Yeah, certainly a great run after a rough couple of weeks before that. But man, you finished the regular season strong here tonight. And I think you literally breathed the life into our final caution of the race. You let out a big exhale over the radio, and then as soon as that happens, they go spinning and crashing right in front of you. Knowing you're staring down the barrel of a late race restart here, what's the thought process?
Yeah, I realized I wasn't very good on the really short runs in the race. I feel like every time we'd get a restart, that 2 or 3 cars would get by me, and I was really good at saving, and then I would end up passing them back and maybe a couple more. And so I really wasn't happy about that late race caution. I really thought the lap car should have moved over for Brody and me. He was racing us pretty hard, but it is what it is. but yeah, so I was really nervous, and just that I got to give this all I got, and that's the same thing I did last season when we were here actually, and ended up burning up my tires way too much, and fell back a little bit to finish ninth, I think it was then. But no, this time I felt like I was one of the 3 or 4 fastest cars. I just kind of gave it everything I got, ran as hard as I could, and held off Hayden, and it kind of all worked out. Felt really confident in my line choice all night. And even from the beginning of the race, just kind of entering high in 1 and 2 and driving it straight down once the truck was turned, and hitting that late apex there, and then running the top in 3 and 4 pretty much the entire race. There was definitely some times where I experimented with the line, but felt really good coming to the end there, and was really happy to hold everyone off. But thought there was going to be much more carnage, and I was not going to be happy if that ended up not going my way, and we wrecked and I got wrecked or whatnot. But really can't complain too much.
Matt, what you got?
Yeah, congrats on a great run here tonight. I mean, you're taking the momentum into the playoffs here for you, which is a spot. The last few races of last year, you performed very well. Also, I mean, what do you think about the playoffs? Just keep being consistent. Does your mindset change at all, or are we just there to finish the races?
No, I'm riding in with a lot of confidence here. There aren't any short tracks besides Bristol. I think Bristol's kind of it's a short track, but it's, obviously a very unique short track. That's where I've been struggling the most this year. So I think Chicagoland next week will kick it off really strong. Should run top 10 and have a good finish, but definitely might take a couple more chances here or there. Definitely as we get towards, Atlanta and towards that last race of the year, of course. But no, I mean, finishing on the podium last 3 weeks, just got to keep doing that, getting hot at the right time, and going to look to maybe take a swing at a strategy call here at some point, and then go out on my terms, not on someone else's. So we'll see. Looking forward to next week. Looking forward to every race here, honestly, in the playoffs.
And we are certainly looking forward to see what you've got in your quest for the Nathan Reynolds Cup here in season number 9. Great stuff here in the regular season and great stuff here tonight. Let's get some shout outs going before we let you go.
Yeah, shout out to Chad and everyone at 939. Chad was killing it all race. Of course, saving the tire the best out of anyone in the field, and went to go queue up there and tell John everything was all good when he ran into, or when he doored him, but that kind of messed up his steering input, and he ended up hitting the wall. So Chad will be all right. He'll be back. He'll be a contender. Felt really bad for Josh. Josh came in after missing last week, needed a good run, and was really sad to see him get into a caution early. So shout out to them, and of course Matt, our satellite teammate, for winning the regular season championship. That's awesome. I wish he would just rejoin our team so we could win the team championship, but maybe in the future. Really proud of everyone at 939. I think everyone comes in kind of not talking as much about our team, but I hope after this year everyone will be well aware of everyone here at all the good things we're doing here. Thanks to you guys for broadcasting, of course. Gonna look forward to go back to watching this long broadcast. Gonna be great. All the admins at Venom, and gonna go have a glass of Pink Whitney or something. Got to get this truck in victory lane, man. It's been rocking it for way too long.
Well, like you said, a 3rd and 2 seconds in a row. I'd say Chicagoland, at the Turn 200 sponsored race, nonetheless, is the place to do it. What do you say?
Yeah, that'd be great. Let's do it.
All right, well, we'll look forward to that, and go rest up after a long one here tonight, but great to get to talk to you here.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
And start the clock. It's back-to-back for John Kay. How about that? And he'll break the tie with our good buddy Jeff Langston and take 3rd outright on the all-time win list. Here in the endurance race, John Kay, you have endured. How do you feel?
Sweaty.
I'm
very sweaty.
Did you really have to do anything, though? I mean, it's not like you were battling the entire length of this race with Brody Gunter and with Chad Stearns. I mean, it looked so easy out there for you.
You want to hold the steering wheel next time?
Absolutely not.
I can't wait. I can't wait till someday y'all get to experience this whenever you decide to not broadcast anymore and decide to race with us. Holy shit, 250 laps is a long time. I looked down and I was like, surely we're close to halfway, and I was like, not even close.
Well, you probably didn't. I don't know. Did you want to see that caution with 25 laps to go, especially with them kind of crashing relatively close to you guys as well?
I would have rather have not, because I finally got past Chad, and Chad was really hard to pass, and I was kind of hoping, not that I was doing great on my tires, but I was hoping I was making him burn them up a little bit, and I got by him finally, and I kind of learned that last run that he could get close, and I could kind of air block a little bit, and he would start to fade. So that's kind of what I was hoping for. So I would like, maybe a yellow won't come out, we'll be okay, and then the yellow come out, and I was like, yep, that's. Then he beat me off pit road, and I was like, oh well, time to go try and fix a mistake. I don't know what I did on pit road. He just kicked my butt. But yeah, I would have rather the caution didn't come out, but it still worked out. That was a hell of a battle with Chad Stearns. He's one of the best. He's one of the best we have, and that was a humdinger. That's like top 10 end of the year stuff. Hopefully, maybe.
It was pretty darn good, that's for sure. And I figured you didn't want that caution, but you can't make assumptions in this business. I mean, what are we, asses, Matt? What do you think?
I am.
I think John
Oh,
thinks
Matt.
that yeah. Yep, there you go.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I mean, that was, I think I dubbed it an instant classic. I mean, between you and Chad there, towards the end. I mean, obviously wish that, you could have finished it out to the end. It would have been even more epic, but even what we got here tonight was, pretty special. So thank you for the show at the end of 250 laps, which is just absolute. Please never again. Don't make me ever do that.
I don't want to do it again either. Never. You guys should have to just one time to experience it, but never again. I hope we never do. It again.
Well,
Interesting.
yeah, we'll save that for another time. But
Yeah.
I mean, we got 2 in a row for you heading into the playoffs here, but we have. I mean, the playoff field is just absolutely stacked going into this thing. I mean,
Yeah.
You're going for 2 championships in a row. You have 2 wins in a row heading into the chase. But, I mean, it's a different format. It's a chase format now for you. I mean, it's a whole different animal. Do you feel good? Do you like your I mean, you got to like your chances, but, I mean, are there some doubts in your mind here with the amount of talent we got in the field?
I like my chances. Yeah. Obviously the field is stacked. It is incredibly stacked. But honestly, I know we just got done running the race, but I'm going to lean on this race kind of for a little bit of help. It's an endurance. Like it really is. It's a 5-race survival of the fittest. You got to be there at the end. And, I think tonight kind of helped me understand that a little better. I mean, in the it sounds dumb saying that it's kind of like the endurance race, but it really is. I mean, compared to the whole season, it's a sprint, but still need to, just like tonight, you need to be there at the end. You need to do your job. The only thing that kind of worries me is I have a tendency to have 2 or 3 good races in a row and then kind of flame out for a race or 2. So it's going to be a big mindset thing, but I mean, you have Matt Schlosser. I think Josh Matichek made it. I think Brody made it. Chad Stearns, we've talked about forever. If Chad ran a full season, that he'd win a championship. He's just that good. Hayden's fast. Luke's fast. I mean, gosh, I don't even know who else is in there to cover that. I feel like I could be snubbing, just because there's a lot of talent in this league. It's hard to win a race, let alone a championship. So it's going to be, if tonight was an all-timer, I think this chase is going to be just as good. I don't know who else chase I named off.
Well,
either.
they haven't posted the points yet, so we don't know either, technically. But we
chop. They need to get on it.
Well, I'm
happened-
go ahead.
No, this happened at the championship race last year too. So
Yes, it did.
Get me waiting, nervous.
Well, and to follow up on that, speaking of mindsets and championships, of course, you winning last season when the odds were truly stacked against you. I'm calling it the Rory McIlroy theory. I think once you win your first one, all bets are off. You know, a huge amount of weight lifted off the shoulders there to finally get that first championship. I think you're on for it, especially getting hot right at the right time. Very excited to see what you've got here over the next 5 weeks. We're certainly looking forward to it. But great stuff with the win last week and the win here tonight to close out the regular season. You're on a tear. Let's get some shout-outs going for you.
Well, first off, it's a pretty big day for me. I want to shout out my girlfriend, Allie. It's our 3-year anniversary. The only thing I've committed to more than her lengthwise in my life is iRacing. So shout out to her. She's great. She was watching the broadcast when I went in and checked on her a couple of minutes ago to celebrate. Yeah, pretty crazy that we've made it 3 years, because I don't know if you'll believe this or not, but I can be a lot to deal with sometimes.
No.
I don't know. Shut up. I don't know who would ever guess that. Shout out my mom and dad. I don't know if they're watching. It's probably past their bedtime. It's fine. Shout out the whole team. We had a good team night. 1, 3, 4. I don't know where everybody. I mean, just that's the first 3 that pop in my mind. But Garrett ran this race on a freaking controller, and other than struggling on the one restart to start the race, Garrett ran really dang good for his situation. Paul wasn't here tonight, but shout out Paul. They're two of my favorite people in the league. Miss Paul being around for races like this. Shout out Kyle. Had a rough night, but he was there keeping us all locked in. Luke did a great job. Put in a lot of practice with him. Put a lot of practice in with him this week, and we talked about a lot of stuff. And I probably wouldn't have won this race without him. So shout out to him. Shout out Eric. Eric did a really good job. He had a tough night too, but got out of the way. Did a really good job of helping us and keeping us in a good position and on the line we wanted. Hayden ran great too. Brody also ran well until an incident later in the race. I mean, he probably would have kicked my butt had he not spun very early on. And then shout out my boss, Sean, gave me the desk so I can race all the time. Shout out Couch. Hopefully Couch is watching. And then shout out you guys. 250 laps is a long time. I've gabbed for a long time. I'm sure there's somebody else very special you'd like to talk to who's way more cooler than I am. So yeah.
Okay.
Hey, shout out the Venom cast too on my YouTube, JK Gaming. Shout out I do have one more. I almost forgot. Shout out the GOAT, Nathan Reynolds. He made my paint. It looks sick. I've won in all 3 of the Nice paints he made for me, so pretty awesome.
And he'll be going for the Nathan Reynolds Cup here in season number 9. John K. with the hot hand on the floor headed to Chicagoland next week. We'll have to talk to you there, but go celebrate the win.
Yep, gonna go take a shower.
All right. It's not official yet, but given everything that we know, since the points haven't been posted, I think it's fair to say that Matt Schlosser is your regular season champion. We'll have a word with him now. And welcome back to the booth.
Hey, thanks.
Well, interesting couple of weeks to close the regular season, but there is no doubt that you're the favorite. You are definitely the top seed headed into the postseason. Man, what a 15 race stretch it's been for you.
Yeah, it's been awesome. A lot of good fortune. I only had really one bad race where I got caught up in an accident, or maybe 2, but I was able to kind of get a points lead and hold on to it and put up some good finishes to stay up there. And yeah, hopefully I can keep it going. And I didn't use up all my good stuff earlier in the season, because a lot of these guys are getting really hot at the right time. John K. especially, but Zach, Hayden, Chad, Luke, Brody, all these guys are going to be really fast. So I'm glad I have a little bit of a margin with those 2-point intervals.
Yes, 7 podiums in the regular season, only 3 finishes outside of the top 10. I mean, it truly was a fantastic regular season stretch for you. Matt, what do you got for Matt?
Boy, I mean, bringing home a regular season championship for the Society of Mats. How about it, brother?
Yeah, we should we're definitely hanging that banner up at the society headquarters.
Love it, love it. Well, I mean, you had to be ultra consistent to be able to get that one done here this season. So, I mean, I feel like that's just kind of a testament to your style of racing. I feel like you're just you have speed, but you just grind out finishes week in and week out, and I think those are the qualities that you have to, I mean, win a chase style format. You have to have a little bit of luck go your way, but you just got to be able to grind out those finishes. I mean, you gotta feel good as a champion going in there.
Thanks. Yeah. Today I think was an example of grinding out a little bit because I didn't really have the speed over the course of a long run to hang with those guys, and kind of fell back, but I was able to hang on and get a decent finish. And in the chase, an 8th place finish might be disappointing, but it could also be what helps you get to a championship if you manage to finish 8th instead of 20th or something. So hopefully we can just keep it going, have some good luck, and it's going to be fun to race these guys for it. And whatever happens, it's cool to kind of get this little mini. I know it's not the real championship, but it feels good to get kind of this little mini regular season title, and be proud of that. So whatever happens, that'll still be something to look back at, and but hopefully we can try to get the real thing here in a few weeks.
Well, I want to sow some dissension in the Society of Mats because I told Matt Schlosser on Friday about me asking very politely for you and Kyle Zittel and Nicholas Pressey to wreck each other in race number 2 of the Joker series, and of course you said no, like a jerk. So and Matt agreed with me. So had to dunk on Matt Williamson real quick, but we'll let you get some shout outs in before we let you go here tonight.
Yeah. Shout out to all the Venom admins and league council. Shout out to Turn 200. Shout out to Zach, Chad, and Josh over at 939. And that's really it. Thanks for having me up here.
Absolutely, partner. Congrats on a fantastic stretch to open this season, and best of luck to you in the next 5. We'll hope to talk to you next week at Chicagoland.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Matt, I'm going to spring this on you. Next week at Chicagoland is our race. We don't have a name for it. You have 10 seconds to give me a race name right now.
Are you kidding me?
No.
Turn 200's uberly super spectacular chase race.
I love that so much. Yeah, I even told Kyle Zittel I was going to do this earlier, to wait till the end of a grueling 250 laps till your brain was soup and see what came out.
Oh, it's soup, brother. I've been looking at Facebook Marketplace for the last 45 minutes.
Well, that'll do anybody, and we'll get out of here pretty quick. But let's get some thoughts to close up the night and the regular season as well.
I'm just kidding, of course. Okay. I mean, it's been a great season. I mean, looking at the championship point standings, it was in no way did we ever think it was going to be a runaway, and we had some really good drivers that have not run full seasons previously, run full seasons like a Chad Stearns, which just made for a really exciting, a little bit of a breath of fresh air. And, I mean, it was a great schedule that was put together as well, of course, voted on by the drivers to really create a great regular season. Looking forward to the playoffs here as well. I mean, if the playoffs are going to be anything like the regular season was, especially those first 5 races, we are in for a very, very special treat.
And I do want to apologize because they do not have the points posted yet. My guess is that they're having trouble putting the extra stage in there because you have to program in that there is one stage, and it's not the most easy thing to work with talking about Sim Racer Hub. So my guess is that's where the difficulties are lying right now.
I think it's
so we
also
don't-
probably very close between Tyler Logan and Josh Freed also, if I had to guess.
It is probably fairly close, yes. So I wanted to leave the air tonight with the official chase field. I don't think we're going to. So apologies for that. I guess ask your friends and loved ones about who made it in and who didn't, if you're that curious.
Or just
Otherwise,
tune
we'll
in next
see
week and you'll find out.
I was going to say, or we'll just see you again next Tuesday night. Did you thank the chat already? We could get to that.
I have not, but I would love to. Shout out to Chad Stearns being in the chat here after the race for putting on a great show for us. Spectacular stuff here. Looking forward to what you got for us here in the chase. Stickers McQueen, as always, in here cheering on Rodney Matney. Allie Hill, congrats on 3 years with the race winner, John K. Don't know how you have done it thus far, but you must be doing something right, so congratulations. Shout out to Bailey Marie Monachek for cheering on her husband, Joshua, as always, as well. Shout out to Mike Milfelt, one of the Max V Thursday drivers who's always in here catching some races here on Turn 200. Always appreciate the support from Mike. Robin Monachek cheering on Joshua as well. Lisa Kelly for Tyler Berger. He had a grinded out race here as well. And running the Caterpillar paint scheme. Always got to love that for a couple of boys from the Peoria area. And shout out to Kevin Sargent. Unfortunately, he was in the chat much too early. But looking forward to the next few races for you as well. Ty Coleman was here cheering on Austin Holyfield. Thank you guys for tuning in and chatting with us here tonight. Always a treat and a pleasure. And thank you as always, Tommy. You mentioned it earlier. We're coming up with full slates here this next week.
It is truly a full slate for me. Tomorrow night, ASRL Sports Car Championship presented by Purple Haze Auto Sports will be live from Circuit of the Americas. It'll be a very interesting race there, 8:15 p.m. Eastern Time for rounds number 3 and 4 of the season, and I promise they will be live this time. We'll have James Watson on the call. It'll be great. Thursday night, the Maximum Velocity CNC Home Designs Truck Series will be live from Nashville Super Speedway down in Lebanon. That'll be 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time for that one. Friday night, if you are so inclined and have the resources, it'll be the Jacksonville Speedway season opener on Dirt Vision. Catch us at 7:15 p.m. Eastern Time to start off that one. I'll have all the action for you from the baddest bull ring on the planet. That will bring us all the way back around to Monday. It will be the return of the Ghost Squadra Formula Super Series, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time from Phillip Island Circuits. And Phillip Island is a banger factory here on Turn 200, especially with open wheel cars. Do not miss it. That is going to be a blast. Going to be a very, very fun night over at Phillip Island. Then that will lead us into the race name that I already forgot, but I'm excited to go back and re-listen to what it was here in just a minute. It'll be the chase opener for the Venom Truck Series next week at Chicagoland, 8:15 p.m. Eastern Time. And still no final chase standings, so we'll just have to leave you in anticipation for next Tuesday night. But that's all we got for you here tonight. Thank you to everybody with the Venom Truck Series. Thanks to the drivers. Thanks to the admins. And thank you to everybody that was watching here tonight. Thanks to the GOAT, the one and only Mr. Matt Williamson. Till we meet again from Rockingham, I'm Tommy Cook saying so long and congrats the back-to-back winner, John K. Over the last 2 weeks, he is now third outright on the all-time win list and headed in to the chase with the momentum. Have a good night, everybody. This has been a live broadcast on Turn 200. Be sure to hit subscribe and hit the bell to get notified of when we go live next. Thank you very much for joining us, and we'll see you again soon.